He's growing hair out on the eagle head.
Just my eagle head.
And I told him to bleach it, so it'll have like a white.
You know those kids books that you like? It's a caterpillar. It's like, oh, touch the caterpillar. So I shave my arms, but I'm growing it out just on my eagle head.
Can we not use reference of kids touching the eagle head? I just no. I'm not okay with this. So, that being said, I'd like to introduce Heather Gallegos from Heat Praxia, former Marine, former coffee shop manager. We were just talking about coffee, and I actually learned a little bit right then and there. Dave is on a kick to get addicted to coffee, so we've been working on that for about a month now.
I'm trying to adapt to coffee, and so far, it tastes like
Are you noticing more hair on your chest yet? No, really?
I'm noticing more hair, not on my chest.
That's a byproduct. Thank you for joining us. Hit us with the history, because Heat Praxia has been down some rough roads. We used to go there all the time, especially when I lived downtown. We had a membership, and it was fantastic. And then catastrophe happened.
It did.
Yeah.
So Heat Praxia, let's see. We'll take it back to day one.
Yes.
We opened November 22nd, 2021. So we had about 2 years, 3 months, really great time, largely organic. Honestly, we did next to no marketing and got to capacity issues within a year, just based on organic growth, taking good care of people, and from experience, sauna and cold plunge just absolutely speak for themselves.
Yep.
Once you've done it, nobody has to twist your arm to get you to do it again, unless you like not feeling good and you're a complete pain in the ass. Like, other than that, you're gonna get back in there, because that first night of sleep after sauna, just all the things, the pain relief for me, especially I'm a chronic pain sufferer. That's what led me to the career choice. I was already using red light actually very regularly leading up to moving along with Heat Praxia. I suffered a pretty gnarly head injury in January of 2020. Were you guys here yet?
Yeah. No,
so massive
windstorm.
If you remember the massive windstorm.
Oh yeah, I was working that night.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of trees.
Wait, I was here for that. Never mind. Okay, I was here.
Like homes completely taken out. Some homes had multiple trees fall in one home. I was at the chef's store. Nothing exciting about my story. My car door closed.
I thought you were going to say a tree fell on your head or something. No,
a
car door.
Okay. I'd be not probably talking about it, but it was bad. I woke up, it knocked me out, woke up laying.
No.
Yes, and it was like the Flintstones goose egg, that immediately gross. That's totally what I got. I still kind of
just from the wind.
From the wind, shut my car door, knocked me out, and from that day it was just a wild day. Fast forward, all the red light, everything. It's greatly improving my head injury, but simultaneously I'm noticing all the nerve pain that I have in my hands is going away.
Oh wow!
And it's been, I've suffered from neuropathy from like 2005.
Wow.
No joke.
Was there a cause for that, for the neuropathy and everything?
I can speculate. So I have several autoimmune conditions, which definitely contribute. The Marine Corps for sure is where my pain this started. So whether it was overuse, whole lots of overuse going on in the Marine Corps, not a lot of time to ever recover, ever recuperate, and the nerve pain just stayed with me ever since.
Right.
So, and it was debilitating. Through my pregnancies, I could not sleep at night. I was lucky, and we're talking for 15 years straight, if I slept for more than 45 minutes straight.
That's pretty nice. So when you say autoimmune, the reason I'm bringing this up is, so I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré in 2013. Okay. And I got it from, I can't even say it. This would be medical misinformation if I said it on here. But
we can establish this is not medical advice.
I got a shot, and I ended up getting Guillain-Barré. I was in the hospital. I was pretty much paralyzed. I couldn't feel anything from the neck down. I could move. I could shuffle a little bit, but all my fine motor movements was gone. I could barely get on the floor. I couldn't tell my legs how to function. It was like trying to have to walk again. So I still have a lot of that neuropathy in like my fingertips and my, where you have those really fine nerve endings. My fingertips and my toes, like every now and then they'll kind of flare up, or it just kind of hurts, or they just they'll go numb.
Feel like you sat on them. And
exactly. Yeah. So I always kind of go back to a primal thought of like, well, what did we do before all of this? What is it that we're not doing now?
Walking.
The truth is we wake up in a box. We walk out and get in another box that moves and go somewhere, and then we sit in another box. Like, we don't do that stuff normally. We don't get exposed to the heat, the sunlight, the cold temperatures, everything else.
Totally. And that's the premise of why Sauna works, right? The Ewstress, the hormetic stressor that we used to just get in our everyday life through hunting, through foraging. Like, we did not have food at our disposal. You didn't get a Uber Eats stuff straight to your door. The most exercise you got today was like dialing a number and getting from the couch to the door to get your food. Where there, families might have gone a few days, a week longer without food. And then there was that kill, and then there was a feast. And so life was vastly different.
Right.
And we see a lot of the same amazing mechanisms within fasting that we see within sauna cold plunge, because it's also a Ewstress.
Right.
And
that word Ewstress, I think it's Ewstress, right? Yeah, and that's a cool concept. I remember talking about this, something to do with when I was a cop. It's that concept of like a good stressor for the body, right? Like working out, you're stressing the body.
Experience it a lot.
Yeah, because the constant cortisol dumps and adrenaline dumps, and like it jacks you up really bad. So yeah,
Totally.
like
And
finding a stressor that is still a stressor on your body, but it produces a good result afterwards.
With sauna, it's so amazing, and I've got to see it firsthand. We had a handful of people that were coming to 1.0 that were coming, basically their psychiatrist who was helping them through like detox, suggest it to them. And I watched people get off of drugs through sauna, through cold plunge.
That's cool.
I think part of it is definitely replacing a habit, right? Like,
There you go.
it's really hard to give up any habit if now you just have a void there. Find something healthy to replace it with, and it gets that much easier to give it up, right?
Occupy your time.
Occupy your time. Don't be idle. The productivity is going to make you feel better as well. Just the actual hormonal effect of challenging yourself in other ways. But with sauna, it's so interesting because, right, initially when we get in, like, you feel amazing, right? It's like, this is awesome. It's not really till your core temperature has risen to that uncomfortable part where you start now dumping the dynorphin, which is kind of the opposite of the endorphins, right? We get in, we dump endorphins, it's pleasurable, we feel awesome. If you're like me, you fall asleep. It's like, told not to do that. Once again, still not medical advice, just saying this is what happens to me. I get so relaxed. I get in there, I'm like, first 20 minutes, pass out, usually wake up within 5 minutes of like, I need out of here. And it's like that dynorphin wakes me up from discomfort. But what's really beautiful about this is endorphins, they actually bind to the opioid receptor that's on your neurons. So it's the same receptor that binds opioid drugs.
Yep.
Tell us about the new 2.0 facility,
Yes.
because this is exciting. There's some pretty cool features, I think.
It is exciting. Thank God I saunaed before all of this, because it has not been easy. Yeah, it's like I said, life just kind of comes along. Sometimes that seagull craps on you, and then from that you learn something, or you learn lots of things, and you pivot and you make changes, and now here we are. We are going on a year later. It was January 13th.
Wow, that long already?
That long.
Damn.
And I don't know if you guys saw the Post Falls Library just reopened last week. So that actually kind of gave me this feeling of like, all right, you guys you're doing okay. Like, there's nothing you
they
could
flooded
have done
at the same time?
Same exact morning.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah,
same
we had a
morning.
cold snap last winter, and a lot of pipes froze and burst, and that's what happened.
That's what happened. And so with that, Heat Praxia 1.0 was obviously destroyed. And the next few weeks after that were just they're very trying to, figure out like, where do we go from here? Insurance was a nightmare. Insurance continues to be a nightmare. But it was really after about, 2 days of like just sulking and like being in this gross pity party of like, oh, what was me?
Yeah.
Then I woke up on like day 3 and I was like, dude, like there's so much opportunity in this. We're already having capacity issues. I already wanted the building that we were ended up moving to. That had been on my heart, on my mind for a year. I had this vision of this wellness space that people could come to and be relieved of their pain, and hopefully also be recuperating from some of these ailments, because we don't use the CURE word, but we've seen firsthand where people are coming off of medications and stuff as well. So this is really happening. And when everything happened, you know, it was very apparent to me within 3 days that I didn't want to stay in the building. Things were not handled properly with mitigation of mold, of asbestos tile. There was a lot of stuff going on that I absolutely disagreed with. And I'm a sensitive person as well. And with what goes on with my immune system, I was just like, this is the vast majority of our clients. Like, they're just like me. They're not gonna be able to enter the space. I'm having dizzy spells, like, through the demo. I am sick to my stomach most days. Lethargy. It was just like, done with this space. Don't want to throw in the towel, guys, but we're moving to Lakeshore, or I'm on to the next adventure, you know? And that was basically that. Like, I took them to show them again. The last time had been a year prior, you know, we're a full year before destruction, and they basically thought I was insane. Like, I showed them that space. You know, we were in 1,400 square feet where we were destroyed, and I showed them this 6,800 square foot space, and they're like, you're psychotic, you know? And I'm like, no, just like visualize it, you guys, it would be so amazing. It was this God moment of like, and regardless of, you know, however you feel, however you believe, it was, we had been put in this situation where we had tough decisions to make, and there was truly no easy way around it. We were demoing a space no matter what we did. We were rebuilding a space no matter what we did. Do we stay here where so far insurance is just going to shaft us, the mold, the asbestos, or do we take this massive leap of faith?